Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Shay from the Sleepless Planner, and today I am going to be going over my 2019 bullet journal blueprint. It's essentially the way that I like to map out my spreads for my future planner, and in this case that is for 2019. So I've lovingly called this spread Thank You Next, Bujo edition. And I've decided that my word for 2019 is going to be courage. I think that I still have a lot that I would like to pursue and to work on, and for all of those things that I'm looking forward to challenging myself with, courage is going to be very necessary. So my first spread will be my future planning, and in this one I will be having a regular future planning calendar, which I've done like this in the past. My next spread that I love to have in every bullet journal is my pantry restock list, and this is what I like to consult before I create my list to go shopping. Without this list, I would likely come home with only 20% of what I set out for. With this list, I still come home with about 80% of what I set out for because kids. The next spread that I like to have is my level 10 life. And it's a great time for me to check in with myself and the things that are important to you and what you want to work on, and maybe reset goals that you have excelled in, or maybe make your goals a little bit more attainable if you struggled to make any improvements. So this is something that's really great to have. The next thing I like to have is a reading list and a watch list. I've been keeping a reading list in my bullet journal since probably my second bullet journal, and it's something that's actually a really great resource for someone like me who loves to read but doesn't always have time to read. So it's great for me to see what I can get back to or what I can start fresh. Also, I like to have my watch list because I sometimes just forget the series that I've been meaning to binge. So this is really a useful, cute little tool. The next thing that I added was a listening list. It's the first time that I've done that, so you also see that in my flip through, and it's podcasts that I'm currently enjoying. And next to that, you will also see a spread called Kids Say. I changed it to say instead of said. And I just thought that it would be fun to have a page to jot down all of the random, hilarious, or kind of interesting things that my kid has said. I've got my pen pal tracker, which I enjoy, and I can't show it to you here because it's got sensitive information on it, but you'll see the updated one that doesn't have any addresses on it. And then I've got also a self-care ideas and a self-care tracker. You will see that in the new bullet journal. My ideal day and my routine. So that one was something that I just did not too long ago, and I found that I had an opportunity to improve it so that I can spend more time doing schoolwork with my son while my daughter is at school. The next one that I have is my Take 5 tracker. You may already know that I recently joined the Take 5 team. It's a collaborative of 12 ladies that challenge each other each month with prompts that we take turns selecting, and we interpret them artistically, whether it's sketching or painting or collaging. So if you haven't seen that, I will link it down below so that you can check out amazing work from a bunch of different artists. Next up are my affirmations for 2019. I created this list not too long ago as part of the Create December challenge, and I really like the affirmations that I came up with, so they're coming with me to 2019. Next up is my social media plans and my social media tracker. I have never been much interested in tracking numbers of subscribers in this case, or followers in the case of Instagram,
But I am interested in consistency with creating content that people like to watch, and I think sometimes the numbers do show us what we've done well. So let's try it.
And then the next is my quote for 2019 in essence. What's ahead is far better than anything we leave behind. The next one you'll see will be my cover page. Typically I do a quote and then the month, but since I already started 2019 with this quote, I didn't want the very next page to be another quote. So for January, this page will just have a simple doodle. And then we have our month at a glance, which will be on this page, and my at some point, which is my version of a, what do they call it? A brain dump. I don't love the word dump. In essence, it just means things that will get done eventually. The next spread will be habit tracker and mood tracker. I'd like to keep them together because I think that they correlate. You know, your mood will dictate how well you do in your habits. Personally, that's the case anyway. Then we have gratitude, and I was going to do lessons learned, but I think not. I thought that it kind of just seemed like the same thing, so it will all just be gratitude. So it is a 2-page spread, but it's got quite a bit of doodling on the sides, so I don't necessarily feel like there's this huge pressure to fill 2 pages with gratitude. Gratitude can sometimes be challenging, and I think that's also what's great about it, is that you should be challenging yourself to try and find the good even when it's hard to see it. So that's kind of like the magic of the gratitude practice. And then we'll have the first weekly spread, which I've yet to do. I've been struggling doing weekly spreads lately. I, for the most part, rely on my habit trackers, and so I think that sometimes I don't need a weekly because either it's just too busy to do one, or it's just not that busy to create one. So habit trackers are just enough for me. And then that's where we end up. I'm trying to think about a color story because I feel like for 2019 I'd like to have like an aesthetic of just calm and clean and no visual clutter. And I'm someone who heavily draws and doodles in her bullet journal, so I feel like that's a challenge in and of itself, because the doodling and the drawing is something that I really enjoy the process of. I'm not sure how that's going to manifest into my bullet journal, whether I'm going to be doing this heavy drawing somewhere else. I don't know. We'll see. We'll go through it and cross that bridge when we get to it. It's time to go. As you can hear, the kids have found me, and that means that our time is up. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you found this to be helpful and useful, and inspired you to create your own blueprint for your first bullet journal or your next bullet journal. But in any case, I will see you next time. Bye.